On the hour, rugbyleague.com news. Brought to you by Thomson Reuters, the global leader for news.
Coming up, Manly upset the Storm, Dogs down the Dragons, and the Raiders blow away Para. Mendy Murricks continue to set the pace in PNG's Digicel ExxonMobil Cup, and Leeds put the cleaners through Salford as Wakefield rack up a record-breaking win against the Giants. But first up on Super Saturday in the NRL, wins for Manly, Canterbury, Bankstown and Canberra. South of the Murray, Manly upstaged the Storm 18-16 thanks to a penalty goal with 2 minutes remaining. Ruben Garrick raising the flags after Storm captain Harry Grant was penalised for late contact on Luke Brooks, who was trying to snap a match-winning field goal for the visitors. Manly up 16-6 at half-time. For the Sea Eagles, Jason Saab, Tolatau Kola and Garrick the try scorers, and Garrick also with 3 goals. For the Storm, winger Xavier Coates scored a hat-trick, including the first try of the match, and Nick Meaney with 2 goals. Manly now back inside the top 8. In Sydney's West, the Bulldogs star mid-season signing Lachlan Galvin set up a gripping 20 points to 18 win over the Dragons. Galvin supplying the pass for Fijian rookie Jethro Rinakama in the corner with just 2 minutes to go. That was after the Dogs led 16-8 at the break before the Dragons rallied, seemingly on course for an upset win until Galvin's money ball out wide. For the boys from Belmore, Rinakama's match-winning try coming after first half 4-pointers to Galvin, Jacob Carraz and Reid Marnie, and 2 goals for Stephen Crichton. And for the Red V, Tyrell Sloan, Moses Sully and Sione Finau scored tries, Kyle Flanagan with 3 goals. The Dogs now second, with the Storm losing to Manly. And in Canberra, the table-topping Raiders made it 8 straight wins, a big second half from the Green Machine, who thrashed Parramatta 40 points to 16. Canberra up 12-0 after 8 minutes before the Eels led 16-12 at the break. Jed Stewart and Owen Patty scored doubles for the Raiders. Zach Hosking, Simi Sasangi and Ethan Strange also scoring tries, with Jamal Fogarty kicking 6 goals. For the Parramatta side, Charlie Geimer, Zach Lomax and Sean Russell scored tries, Lomax also with 2 goals. Still to come in the Sunday matches, the Tigers and the Gold Coast at Leichhardt, followed by Newcastle at home to the Warriors. In the NRLW, in Canberra, Parramatta steamrolled the Raiders 46-12. At Homebush, the Dragons beat the Bulldogs 18-14. And at Shark Park, the Cowboys 16-14 winners over Cronulla. In the Queensland Cup, 5 Saturday matches between the Gold Coast and Rockhampton. At Bishop Park, Norths beat Mackay 24-20. On the sunny coast, the Falcons walloped Northern Pride 42 points to 4. At KO, Souths defeated Redcliffe 30 points to 24. In Rocky, the Capras broke their drought 28-24 over Tweed. And on the Goldie, Burleigh smashed the Tigers 48-6. Still to come, Winner Manly and the Clydesdales on the Bayside. And in Port Moresby, it's the PNG Hunters and the Ipswich Jets. In the New South Wales Cup, a super-duper Saturday with 6 matches in 3 cities across 2 countries. At GIO Stadium, Raiders 22-16 over Parramatta. At Henson Park, the Roosters edged out Newtown 26-24. At Lidcombe, Penrith beat Western Suburbs 28-24. At Redfern, the Dragons defeated South Sydney 32-22. At Belmore, the Bulldogs crushed Manly 58-20. And at North Harbour, the Warriors took care of North Sydney 32-18. That's now 13 wins on the trot for the Wars. In the Ron Massey Cup, just the one Saturday fixture, it was more like a mismatch. Mounties at home, wiping out Blacktown Workers 80 points to 0. In PNG's Digicel ExxonMobil Cup, in Port Moresby, the Mendy Murricks consolidated top spot with a 19-14 win over Gulf ESO, 6 days after all that drama between the Murricks and the Goroka Lahanis. And as for Goroka, Mount Hagen, playing at home, beat them. Eagles 18-14 over the Lahanis. In the other matches, in West New Britain, Leigh Tigers beat the Kimbear Cutters 20 points to 14. In East New Britain, the Gurias accounted for Central Dabaris 36-16. In the capital, Angamioks 14-10 winners against the Port Moresby Vipers, and a 28-all draw between the Wagi Tumbe and the visiting Hella Wigman. And in Auckland Rugby League's Fox Memorial at Grey Lynn Park, Richmond beat Marist Saints 30 points to 10. On the road, Bay Roskill pummeled Ponsonby 46-6. At Prince Edward Park, Manukau edged out Papakura 25-22. Mount Albert defeated visiting Te Atatu 28-6. And at Walker Park, Otahuhu, too good for Point Chev 36-10, the final score in that one. In Super League, coming up from 6 o'clock UK time, that's 6 p.m, of course, we'll have live and free commentary of the match in the south of France. between the Catalan Dragons and Hull KR. In the Friday night matches at Headingley, Alfie Edgell scored a hat-trick as Leeds Rhinos returned to winning ways with a victory over basement side Salford. Leeds romping home 42-6 after the Rhinos led 10-6 at half-time. And at Huddersfield, Wakefield Trinity moved back into the top six with a 46-10 flogging of the Giants, Wakey's biggest ever victory against their West Yorks rivals. The visitors up 30 points to 4 at the break. In the championship at Odsal, Bradford defeated Oldham 28-12 after the Bulls led 14-6 at the interval. And finally on the international stage, the French under-19s have wrapped up their three-match tour down under. Newcastle's under-18s beating the French 32 points to 8. I'm Jason Costigan, and that's the latest in news on rugbyleague.com.